Good morning. My name is Thanh Nguyen, and today I will be speaking on the topic of diversity. Now, there are many different types of diversity, such as biological diversity, economic diversity, type 1 diversity, and so on. But the one that I will be speaking of today is the social diversity among humans. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, just look all around you. This very room is bursting at the seams with diversity. You're surrounded by people of all different beliefs, different backgrounds, different sexualities, or different opinions as you. They may not be the same age as you, and they may not even have the same physical characteristics as you. But I think it's wonderful how we're all able to come together as a group and accept each other's differences and create this safe and diverse environment. Now, I first really noticed the beauty of diversity when I traveled to Europe with People to People in the summer of my sophomore year. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the organization, People to People is an international educational travel program that features unique activities for building independence and maturity, exclusive cultural moments to increase global awareness, and exciting destinations to foster a love for international travel and foreign cultures. And that's according to the website. I got the opportunity to travel to 6 countries, including England, France, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Sure, it was an honor getting to climb all the way to the top of the Eiffel Tower and then all the way back down again by feet since the elevators decided not to function that day. And yes, to this day, I still miss playing in the snow on the Swiss Alps in a t-shirt and shorts, although the Texas bipolar weather does kind of make that possible. Sorry. Okay, and yes, I do miss the taste of Belgian chocolate and waffles, and I could really use some right now. But anyways, of course, I miss bicycling through the rainy weather in the Netherlands without a care in the world. Oh, well. And as one can imagine, I learned a lot from touring Anne Frank's house and exploring World War II museums in Germany. And although it did not seem like it at the time, it was kind of fun getting lost in King Henry VIII's palace. And being on top of the London Eye overlooking all of England was breathtaking. All of these attractions, landscapes, and monuments were fabulous, but the one thing that I'll always remember from my trip to Europe is the people. Not just the people who lived in the countries, but also the people who I traveled with. Everyone had something new to bring to the table, and everyone had pride in their culture. My interest in diversity grew stronger when I traveled to Camp Community last summer. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Camp Community is a once-in-a-lifetime, 5-day camp that promotes an inclusive community, eliminates bias, bigotry, and oppression, and encourages understanding and equity of all diversity through shared experiences and educational programming. And that's also according to the website. But here's my take on it. I think that society creates distinctions out of its own mind and then believes them to be true. We are too quick to judge others before we actually get to know them. We're blinded by stereotypes and expectations that people create. I think that there needs to be a greater sense of understanding and acceptance in this world, but I also understand that it also begins with my own actions, because as Gandhi said, we must be the change that we wish to see in the world, right? Everyone had an opportunity to share their own culture as well as myself, and I learned something new from each person that I met, but at the same time, I also learned a little bit more about myself. In addition to all these camps that I've been a part of, another establishment that has positively changed my views on diversity is Oakridge. So I've attended public school for most of my life, and let me tell you, there's a huge difference between public school and Oakridge. Oakridge Oakridge offers opportunities that are not available elsewhere, and I think that I've taken advantage of those opportunities. Being such a small school, Oakridge gives me a chance to participate in more activities than I can ever imagine. I've met some wonderful people, and I've had some unforgettable experiences. Playing field hockey, soccer, and tennis has kept me in shape, but it has also taught me cooperation and communication with others, and I think that's a really important skill that everyone should have. Being in NHS, I've learned to light a candle, and I've learned to understand the value of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Our club has given me a different way to express my thoughts with something other than words. In student council and in some challenging classes, I've met some wonderful teachers and some brilliant peers. And I've also had the opportunity to reach out to the school by designing a few shirts here and there. For such a small school, Oakridge actually has a lot of diversity. And to be honest, it's been a long journey, but it's been worthwhile. I'm so fortunate to have been involved in so many summer camps, and I'm so fortunate to attend such a prestigious school. These experiences have shaped me into the person I am today, and for that, I'd like to thank everyone in my life, especially my parents. Diversity is such a peculiar thing. It can set people apart, but at the same time, it can bring people together, and that is why it's so special. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, blind or deaf, tall or short, Buddhist or Christian, gay or straight, bad at public speaking or not, old or young, Republican or Democratic, poor or rich, because aren't we all? There's so much more I'd like to share, but I guess we'll have to save that for another time. I could sit here and bore you with all my experiences, but you'll never truly understand them unless you get to experience them yourself. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you all for listening, and I hope that you appreciate diversity a little bit more. Thank you.